When you take a walk to combat art block and you get an idea, maybe great, maybe not. You grab all your paints, all your pencils, set a date to create something, maybe great, maybe not. So join me today as I draw something great. It's Kai Draws Now. Hey everybody, I'm the Otaku artist, and today I'll be drawing a Four Swords fan art. I started this in Art Academy on May 17th, 2017, and it took me a little under 5 hours. Now you all know me, I really love Four Swords and think it needs more fan content. I do know that there's a kinda small, underground part of the Zelda fandom that has Four Swords lovers like me, and it's really nice to see those guys all over the internet, especially the website Tumblr, and to know that there's some viewer chans that are actually fans. So, if you like Four Swords as much as I do, after this video is over, click on the eye icon or on the end screen, where I'll include a Four Swords animation meme. Oh, and read the comments. Seems that Shadow, Vi, and Blue may have stumbled across that video. If you've only played the game, you might understand the love it gets. However, all the charm and amazing personality is seen in the manga, which is nothing like the game. The authors of the Zelda manga, two women who go under the name Akira Himikawa, do amazing in all their books. But I believe this one to be their very best one. They always take good creative liberties with their manga, but they took complete and utter full creativity with this manga. It has a completely different story than the game, and a better one too. Unlike the game, which really is not too much of a story game, the manga gives the four links fleshed out and different personalities, which I will elaborate on later. The story is also super fleshed out and even has some plot twists. There's great characters and many great locations shown as well. It really is incredible and so large of a story that it had to be split into 2 parts. So if you're looking to get into the manga, Four Swords must be your first. And make sure to get 2 volumes, and I also believe that they sell a bigger version, which is some of the pages are actually colored, and the 2 parts are actually put into one bigger manga. So yeah! Now, before I move on to talking about the Speedpaint, I'll briefly talk about the game. Now, I don't have the money to spend on a GameCube, 4 Game Boys, and all the other expensive equipment required to play the game. It's really, really expensive. But I have seen a Let's Play. I saw the Runaway Guys LP of it, and man, does it look super fun with 4 people. However, I was very disappointed when watching that for the first time when I realized there was a notable change. That there's honestly not really a story, and also there's no personality for the Lynx or Shadow Link, which is a crime. Oh, and I kinda lied a little bit. Although I don't have the GameCube version of the game, I do have a copy for the Game Boy Advance of both Four Swords and Minish Cap that I used to play a little on my DS. But I don't have anyone to play it with, so I can't really use it. I also have the exclusive limited time version for the DSi, which you could buy off of the DSi online shop for a little bit. However, when I try to play it, it's just a tutorial? Like, in single player, you have this little tutorial dungeon, where you can play around with items, and that's it. So again, I can't play the game. I would actually play that tutorial for a long time, and I could never find an end to it, so if there is an end to it that lets you, like, I don't know, go to a single player version of the game, I don't know how to get to it. One Zelda game I can play, though, is Triforce Heroes, the spiritual successor, basically a better sequel, to the game Four Swords, and Four Swords Adventures, although I don't know the difference between the 2 versions. I adore Triforce Heroes, and played so much of it. Sadly, Vi is gone. Or is he? But hey, it's still an awesome game. Unlike the previous game, even though it's a silly story, it does have more of a story with cutscenes and such. It's comedic, and oddly, it fits. When the game was first announced, I was skeptical. I thought the idea was very dumb, to be honest. And I still think it's really silly with how the princess is in a jumpsuit. And I thought that maybe the story would fit more so a Mario game. I still stand by that the story about how she's freaking out she's in a jumpsuit would fit Princess Peach better. But by actually playing the game, I can see that it actually somehow works, as the game does not take itself seriously in the least. I'm not sure why it isn't a spin-off game though, as technically, you don't actually play as Link, just a hero. And you're in Hytopia, which is not Hyrule. Funnily enough, you can find the Link from A Link to the Past with glorious pink hair in the game. But when he goes to actually go fight for the kingdom and try and unlock the curse for the princess, they don't actually believe he's a hero and they don't let him fight. So you can talk to him outside and he's really salty about it. And he's all like mad. And other than that, he just teaches you about something called like friend coins in the game. But it's a really cool Easter egg, and surprisingly he's the only Zelda character in the game. Anyhow, speaking of the princess's jumpsuit, this game revolves around outfits. And I actually really love the outfit idea. And this does predate Breath of the Wild, so Traverse Heroes did it first. Some of them are silly, and they're all super well designed, and they all have super cool power-ups and stuff. And there's lots of Easter egg to previous Zelda games, like you can even dress up as Linebeck. So, as seen in Breath of the Wild and in Triforce Heroes, Link really can rock any look. However, I never was able to beat Triforce Heroes. I got very, very far, unlocking all the worlds, but then I had to move. And didn't have good internet. It wasn't powerful enough to play any video games online. So, I had to stop. And then after all that moving was done, and I finally got good internet back, I tried playing online, but no one was playing anymore. The lobbies were all empty and no one would ever join. I tried several times and I could only get one person. In a blue moon, there would be one person, and we all would be just waiting for a third person, and we would end up walking around the lobby and doing the thing where you run up against a wall and then you can have the ball drop down and then you can hit it and play little music and get rupees from it. And I would just do that, and then like after an hour at a time of trying this several times, I would just give up. So yeah, sadly I had to stop playing. However, I did get to see the rest of the game, though, by watching TRG's LP of it. But Kai! Triforce Heroes is an offline single-player mode! Why didn't you beat the game in that mode? Oh dear, dear viewer-chan. You poor fool. To those who don't know, single-player mode is terrible. You can only control one Link at a time, and the other two Links become statues. So the only thing you can do is switch between one Link at a time and then pick up the other statues. And it's so difficult and frustrating that honestly it's not worth playing the game if you don't have two other people to play with. Now then, with all that talk out of the way about the Four Swords game and Triforce Heroes, let's finally talk about the Speedpaint itself. Originally, this wasn't going to be a Four Swords picture. I had planned to draw every Link, and I actually started work. I got the sketching time in Twilight when I realized how I really did not like how it was going. I couldn't really, I don't know why, but I couldn't really grasp their personalities, so I scrapped it, and I got this idea instead. I probably was in a Four Swords mood while drawing this. In this drawing, I wanted to capture each of the Link's personalities. Red being the innocent and naive one, Blue being the hothead meanie who loves to pick on Red, Green being the leader, and OG Link, and honestly the most boring of the four. I'm sorry, it had to be said. And then there's my favorite, Vi, who's the smart and calm one, with the best one-liners. And despite it being called Four Swords, there's actually one more hero. Shadow, the emo and misunderstood villain. I still stand by my opinion that he is the very best villain in the entire Zelda series. So I really hope that a Dark or Shadow Link gets his personality in a future Zelda game, instead of just being a random enemy or boss. So I said who is my favorite Four Swords Link. It's a tie between Vi and Shadow. So, which Link is your favorite? Comment below! For the background, I just went with simple colors, showcasing each of the Links to its colors. So now then, would I redo this drawing? Honestly, no. I really like how this turned out, and I still think it stands up. I really love how I shaded it and how much personality the drawing has. So, with that, the speed paint is over! I hope you all enjoyed it. Before the video ends, I give this question to you guys, which you can answer in the comments below. So, do you prefer the Four Swords manga, the Four Swords games, or Triforce Heroes? So, thank you all so much for watching. I am the Otaku Artist, and I'll see you all next Friday for another weekly speed paint. Bye!